Hi, sweetheart. Well, I am not at the restaurant with you. Baby, I love you. I love you so freaking much. I love the shit out of you. I don't know how to do this. I'm sure you have an idea about what's going on right now because you have a crazy feminine intuition. So, I'm trying to propose. And, you know, my mind being the way it is, I could think of a million different ways that I want to do it. But all I know is that I want it to be special, and I want it to be romantic, and I want it to be something that you never forget. So, here I am.
In this video, we're going to look at the many red flags of Justin Baldoni that have been overlooked or ignored. He's been pushing his brand of soft misogyny on his YouTube channel since 2013, and a lot of creators covering this story have missed it. A quick dictionary check shows that another word for the M word, which is apparently suppressed on this platform, opposed to women or perpetuating harmful stereotypes. If you know about trad girl wife and soft girl aesthetic, it falls into the same area. And then there's his fake humanitarianism. Some people might call the holding a festival for homeless people, using it for content, and telling them there's no such thing as rich and poor today, distasteful, inappropriate, exploitative are three words that come to mind. I've not seen anyone bringing this up.
In this place, right now, there is no rich, there is no poor. We are all the same. We dance together. Love brought us together. We are one.
I don't know what in the hell kind of Mr. Beast meat soft white underbelly style of content that was meant to be.
In this place, right now, there is no rich, there is no poor. Love brought us together. We are one.
It's like someone put out a memo that to be a good influencer, making homeless people content makes it look like you care. Because if there's no rich, no poor, we are all one, why have we got homeless people in one of the richest cities in the world, living in tents next door to $1 million buildings and businesses? It just made me think of one of the texts from Melissa Nathan, his very expensive crisis PR we saw in the lawsuit between his production company, Wayfarer Productions, which the video was made for, and is the name of the YouTube channel, and Blake Lively. And it said Baha'i needs to be out and mostly the misogynistic. And then there was the disclosure about a screenshot of a post by a woman stating, Justin, the creator of a show called My Last Days, with which he raised money using GoFundMes and filmed people's intimate last days of life, exploits the struggles of people facing terminal illnesses for his own gain. He found my friend who was battling a serious illness and followed her life closely. Despite her grace in not speaking ill of him, I sensed from the start that something was deeply wrong. Justin weaponizes therapeutic language, presenting himself as thoughtful and supportive, yet his actions reveal a very different reality. He portrays himself as an ally to women and the vulnerable, but it's all a facade. He manipulates the vernacular of care to mask his true intentions. In reality, none of the proceeds from the show benefited the individuals it profiled. He even had the audacity to depict her hometown, a vibrant and affluent community, as a small, impoverished town. His portrayal was not just inaccurate, but insulting. Once the show aired, Justin took his profits and vanished, leaving nothing but a sense of exploitation in his wake. His behaviour was not just tacky and gross, it was a betrayal of the very people he claimed to uplift. In response to the article, Miss Abel stated,
I'm assuming this is not true in the slightest. Either way, we flagged to Jed and his team for more serious action on the social side.
Well, looking at his content and the history of this type of content, I would say it was very likely to be true, Jennifer. And by Jed, she's talking about the mysterious Jed Wallace, the social media account fixer, who knows how to make anonymous posts on Reddit to spread rumours about people in order to hide the truth of situations or other celebrities. And I've already made another video about him and his connection to the Bam Margera situation. They definitely did a good job of burying that person's post, because because I could not find it on my search. To be honest, it's hard to find any negative content about Justin, but what I did find was that Brian Friedman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, had once represented a man with cystic fibrosis who sued Justin Baldoni for stealing his script. And he was in the TV series. He managed to keep that one quiet until January of this year. And although it has been reported in the Hollywood Reporter, I've not really seen anyone talking about this either. I wonder why, and Brian Friedman hasn't commented on the fact that he managed to get a settlement for this guy, which would indicate that Justin Baldoni was guilty of infringing copyright to this disabled man, a man with a terminal illness, Travis Flores. The article says Friedman claimed when he was representing the man with cystic fibrosis that Baldoni had ripped off his client and that Flores had probably confidentially, thought he could trust Baldoni, shared the script with him. Because he was making his own movie. What man that's trying to advocate for terminally ill people would do that?
Well, Justin Baldoni is producing you on the CW, and
Yes.
we have a little message for you.
Oh. Travis, my brother, I love you, and I am so excited to have you on this season of My Last Days. I wanted to surprise you in person, but I'm on a boat in Italy. Travis is a real-life superhero, and something that nobody talks about is the financial repercussions to having a chronic and terminal illness like cystic fibrosis. So I want to draw attention to Travis's GoFundMe. Travis, don't hate me, but it's so important. And your whole My Last Days family. Travis, we're going to be donating, and if you're watching this video, please consider. I love you, Travis. Can't wait for the premiere and for the world to meet you. Justin ripped off Travis's storyline and idea for a movie that he was making independently called 3 Feet Distance to make his own debut movie for Wayfarer, which he called 5 Feet Apart, and he got sued for it, and it was all hushed up. And Travis passed away in August 24, very sadly, but he had a terminal illness, and that's just when It Ends With Us came out. So we'll never get to hear what he has to say. And it's funny how the misogynistic troll, whose channels are all doing very well out of supporting Baldoni, have failed to mention it, but we're going to get onto them in a minute. I love you, baby. I'm coming. I'm on my way to you, but I just want to do something for you. If you look at this Wayfarer channel, the most viewed video is Baldoni's engagement to his girlfriend, Emily. Another video where he goes to her dad's grave to get his permission for marriage. He definitely has some kind of obsession with dead people and people dying. Other than that, there's a little bit of family channel content, which there's plenty of videos out there showing that that's kind of a form of child abuse. As unconsenting babies and children are having the most intimate and embarrassing moments of their life monetized for the world to see. Even the commentary channels that have called out family channels haven't picked up on this with Baldoni. The impression I'm getting of him from my own research is he's very self-serving and self-absorbed. That word that's beginning with N, that's very overused these days, narcissistic. Not one to miss out on an intimate opportunity. He turned his own engagement into a full-blown production. Look how many people were involved in the making of this video. It's staged to look like a surprise engagement that she had no clue about other than her crazy feminine intuition. And there's obviously people filming it when she walks in the door. But he says in the credits that he's placed hidden cameras to capture the moment. I don't know about you, but I just feel like it's doing too much. It's all staged and set up to make Justin look like he's in this perfect fairy tale romance where you're sat on your own in a restaurant watching your future husband going on some weird podcast and then cosplaying as a boy band singer. This is not giving feminist vibes, I'm not gonna lie. And it gets weirder because one of these singers in the backing group, I guess, or they're a boy band, well, blowing kisses to someone you're about to propose to, it's none other than Jamie Heath, his production partner, who was also named in Blake Lively's original complaint, which, let's not forget, was about inappropriate male behaviour on the set of It Ends With Us.
Another toxic signal, which was reported on a long time ago, is the weirdness of his wedding vows when he said, "I'm sorry for my faults, my shortcomings, for my insecurities, and my ego." It's just something about the way he dresses with the low-cut neckline vest. "And for everything I've ever said or done that's hurt you." Whoa. "And everything I've ever brought to this relationship that hasn't been pure." It doesn't sound very in keeping with the Baha'i religion that they're devout followers of. Speaking of which, there's another unreported lawsuit from former employees in 2020. And they've come out of the woodwork to speak to the Los Angeles Times. And were interviewed in March, but wanted to remain nameless for fear of retaliation or fear of being drawn into litigation. One of his ex-collaborators said Justin has a lot of power and a lot of money, and he is not afraid to use them to get his way. Unlike the image that's being put out by all these channels that want us to believe that he was taken advantage of by Blake Lively. According to the Los Angeles Times, several ex-employees described a pattern of performative virtue and power plays that, in their view, conflicted with the ideals Baldoni professes to uphold. Someone called it toxic positivity. Multiple employees also expressed discomfort with the increasing prominence of the Baha'i faith in Wayfarer's office culture. There was an evangelizing aspect to the way Justin spoke about the faith that, in my opinion, felt professionally inappropriate, said one former employee. Just a reminder that homosexuality is forbidden in Baha'i faith. Another described a workplace where Baha'i principals were frequently involved in discussions about the company's mission and projects, particularly after Sarowitz, the billionaire, became involved. So apparently the business was pretty much on the rocks until Sarowitz invested heavily in it. Steve wanted to talk about it all the time. Through a spokesperson, Baldoni declined to be interviewed for this story. So it was Steve Sarowitz that apparently said he would pay whatever it takes to destroy Blake Lively and her family, after she dared to speak out about the toxic work culture of Wayfarer and the sexual harassment. And let's get into the content creators that fell for it and that collectively have taken part in the Blake Lively takedown smear campaign. Perez Hilton, the blogger, who's known for being a misogynist bully. He used to fat shame, he used to slut shame, he used to mental health shame. His career was pretty much dead in the water. He was even mentioned in the lawsuit by Baldoni, who'd seen one of his TikToks and he'd used the hashtag Team Blake. And then Melissa Nathan went in on him. No one pays any attention to this person past 2005. He is not relevant. He does not create a news headline. He does not get pickup. He is just now a troll. There is not one outlet that would cover anything he said or take it seriously. So what does he do? He starts making content out of being shamed in the lawsuit, and suddenly he's making anti-Blake Lively content and getting hundreds of thousands of views on his channel. Would you believe it? It would be funny if it wasn't genuinely sad. Obviously, these people, these trolls, they're described as trolls. We know they're trolls. They're getting pushed in the algorithm. Their egos are so big, they think it's because they're great at making videos. Or in the case of Kjersti, Flaa, she genuinely thinks she was wronged by Blake Lively. She's made about 100 videos about Blake Lively. She was literally nobody her whole life until August 2024. She should be thankful to Blake Lively that her and Parker Posey turned her completely mundane, boring question into something that actually went viral. A genuine question to you, Kjersti. Do you feel happy about bashing another woman that you wish you could have been? You just didn't like her because she didn't like your question. And now you're teaming up with Andy Signal, a known predator. You're a journalist, Kjersti. You can Google him. He's a sex pest. But you're begging him and his audience to make videos about your Wikipedia page. Sorry, that was just the sound of a barrel being scraped. For you to pick out the last dregs so you can keep on milking this opportunity for your really rather feeble and irrelevant journalistic career. And didn't you just try and shut down another content creator, Okie dokie, by sending a copyright claim when she clearly does commentary? Just seems a bit hypocritical after everything you've said about Blake Lively. So are we not allowed to criticise you now, Kjersti? Because I'll go right into it. You used to write for a TV mag. It's hardly the giddy heights of journalistic integrity now, is it? And you were accusing the New York Times and the Mail of spreading false information when, Kjersti, that's all you've done. All you've done is do 4-minute interviews at promotional press junkets with Hollywood stars that didn't even want to be there, and their PRs were sitting right next to them, so you couldn't ask anything of value anyway. Probably 99% of what is printed about celebrities is misinformation, and it's so obvious there's been all this activity on your Wikipedia page since the day that video went viral. Oh, your gotcha moment that you've been waiting for. And last time I checked, Kjersti, it said an editor has nominated this article for deletion. There was no evidence to support your claims of antitrust violations by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association that wouldn't let you join. Didn't you accuse Blake Lively of white privilege? But congrats on the interview with Henry Winkler. Fair play.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days.
The thing about Andy Signor is somehow he's popular. Maybe because he blew up during the Amber Heard trial where there was a similar smear campaign going on. He's also a big leader in the anti-Meghan Markle genre. That could be what Kjersti moves on to next. But I've come to find out that he will always support the man who, when held accountable for their behaviour, plays the victim just like he does. They will happily tear down a woman, yet ignore the same issues that have gone on with the man in question. Or, in this case, worse. And Sloane is the new revised version of Perez Hilton. He accuses all sorts of women of having mental health issues and needing intervention. What did he say recently? That Kate Moss had a sad life? Babe, you have got the saddest life. You're like Kjersti. You just want to be a celebrity. Just admit it to yourself. Unfortunately, these guys, they have no integrity. They have no critical thinking skills. They just want to have views on their videos. They'll say anything. And you all fell for their propaganda. Well, not you all, because I know if you're watching this video to the end, you probably didn't. But I know there's some out there. I've had to unsubscribe from some people because this whole experience has taught me another lesson. There's too much women-hating content on YouTube and not enough fact-checking. With all that said, don't forget to go and do your own research and have a lovely day.